Okay, so I actually had this apart a couple days ago, and I did a video, and when I downloaded it to my computer, I wasn't happy with it, so I'm going to take it apart again, but not completely. Well, you know, I'm going to take the lead screw out, but I have a reason to take it out because there's a bunch of chips inside there that fall down between this little gap in the saddle, right at the base of the machine here. I don't know why they left that open. Chips get down there, especially lazy people blowing machines off with an air hose. Helps chips to get down there. But anyway, this thing only has 0.004 backlash, and I didn't even adjust the nut. Now the handle's broken, so I thought I had some major damage here. What the real problem was, there's a Woodruff key here, okay, and it didn't fit in the keyway on the handle. So somebody, I almost think this handle came from a different machine. They stole the one from this machine because the key, the Woodruff key, did not fit in the keyway. I had to file the keyway a little, and I even filed a little bit on the top of the key to make this handle go on. And because this handle wasn't fully seated, and this, you know, the thing that the dial, there's like a sleeve here, that has to be fully seated so the bearings in this housing don't float back and forth. And so this wasn't on, it was probably about 1/8 of an inch from where it needed to be. And that's why when I cranked it one way, it was actually pulling the bearings out of the housing. And cranking it back the other way, it pushed the bearings back in. So, but I'm going to just show you, just for the heck of it, you know. I had this all apart, and so it'll come apart really easy. And of course, you know, Woodruff keys tend to rock in their keyway. But I don't think that was the case. I mean, the key just did not fit in the crank. And so this comes off. And so, I'll take the dial off so you can see the piece. I know, you know, there's a lot of videos out there like this, so this isn't really unique, but so this sleeve goes in there, but this right here goes against the inner race of the bearings. And so if this is like 1/8 of an inch out, because the handle wasn't tightened all the way, that's what made the thing, you know, it was actually pushing the bearings out of the housing. So that's all it was. And so, you know, I cleaned up my dial really nice, put a little grease on it, you know. The main thing is, you know, like I said, it was hanging up in the hanging up on the key. And so to adjust the nut, you have to take this whole thing out, but you don't have to take all this apart. You just take the 4 screws off the housing, and you just crank the screw right out. And it's like, you know, 0.004 backlash. I was like, wow, you gotta be kidding me. And so I've seen, you know, videos I've seen, some say that this is pinned on. Mine doesn't have pins, so it comes out really easy. And somebody broke the, there was like a little screw there, so the weight cover won't come out. Somebody broke that off. And somebody even has written on here, you know, reverse, crank it this way, forward, crank it that way. I don't know who owned this machine, but boy, they didn't know too much about what they were doing when they first got it. But so, you know, I should have cleaned out all the chips inside the saddle, but I want, you know, I was so happy when I got this fixed. I wanted to put it together and see what it had for backlash. When I saw it at 0.004, I was shocked. And you know, the machine was made in 1974, according to the number right here. So yeah, the waves have some wear, but you can still see some of the scraping, and I'm not going to have any of that redone. I'm just doing it, making parts for myself, hobby stuff, or fixing something or whatever. I mean, I got the machine really cheap, so okay. So now you just crank it out. When I took it out the first time, there was a big glob of crap stuck to the front of the nut because the screw hadn't been out in years. So all the stuff on the part of the screw that never passes through the nut cleaned itself off on the nut, Anyway, it's a simple thing to do, yeah. Okay, that's it. Now we'll just put it up here. Okay, so I moved the tripod. Now we're looking in at the nut, but I want to show you like you can see some chips right there on the side and on that little ledge of the casting right near the bevel gear for the knee. You don't want any of that crap to get into the bevel gear, but look down here. See if I can get the camera closer. Can't get any light in there. See all the chips down in there? Sorry, it's just kind of hard. See all the chips in there? Now, those chips aren't affecting anything much, but what you really don't want is like chips on this little this little shelf here next to the the bevel gear. Sorry, it's really hard to get the camera and the light in here. So I'm just going to carefully reach in there with something, and I'm going to push all those chips on they'll end up on the bottom of the base. So and so of course, all the chips got down there through this little opening here. I don't know why. But, I mean, that's why a lot of people they put the like the accordion weight covers, or I worked in a couple of shops. One shop, they just had they got a piece of rubber, they made their own brackets, and they just had a piece of rubber there, that was long enough so that, the table could move in and out, and you'd keep all the chips off your ways and everything. I'll probably do something like that at the least, But, okay, so that's it for now. I'm going to clean the chips out, and that's going to be it. But I did clean up my shop a bit here, my garage. It was like I could hardly even move in here. And I did, like I said, I put some of the stuff up in the overhead. There was a huge bunch of cardboard boxes here. I chopped them up in a recycle bin. And there's my, that's the paw feet I'm going to put on the machine with that crank. And so now I'm standing back near the garage door. So I mean, it's a fair-sized garage. I got a Honda Odyssey. It fits in here. It used to fit in here before the Bridgeport, but there's so much junk in here. It's like, anyway, that's it.